Hi, I'm James from Authentic Wine and Spirits, and today we're going to talk about what is chill filtration and what is coloring in whiskey. Now, let's start with color. Why would you add color to whiskey? In particular, the Scotch whiskey business tends to use a coloring called E150A or beverage caramel, and this achieves a few effects. First of all, we naturally are drawn to whiskeys that have a deep, rich color, and using a little bit of caramel can achieve that look that is very appealing and will make you pull a bottle off the shelf. The other big benefit is, of course, if you are making multiple whiskeys or multiple batches of the same whiskey, you might want them to be the identical color so you don't have two bottles sitting on a shelf side by side with different color. So using a little bit of color judiciously can achieve this result. Now, the downside of using color is A, it isn't completely natural. It's not something that's created in the process of making whiskey. And B, the beverage caramel does have a little bit of a flavor, a little bit of that burnt sugar kind of toffee flavor, but more importantly, it creates a little bit of a buzz on the palate that can numb your taste buds a little bit. So in some cases, it might be something you want to avoid. Now, chill filtration is a whole nother animal. So there's a lot of natural oil that's produced in the production of Scotch whiskey. And a lot of that oil creates texture and flavor that is a positive when you're drinking whiskey in most cases. Now, this oil can cause a few problems too. So whiskey often is distilled to sometimes upwards of 80% ABV and then watered down to a proper drinking percentage like 40, 43, 46, or in some cases might be bottled at a cask strength, which can often range from 50 to 65% ABV. Now, if you were to bring that ABV down from the original strength, you are diluting, and this causes the natural oils to have some issues, and in some cases, they might actually congeal and cause whiskey to look cloudy. Also, if you chill the whiskey, so make it colder, that can also have some of that same effect where the whiskey will become cloudy as the oils congeal. Now, both of these can be problems. For instance, if you had a truck, let's say, going through a really cold neighborhood in Alberta, and you open up the back of that truck and all the bottles came out and they look cloudy, some people might be uncomfortable buying a bottle of whiskey that was cloudy, that looks faulty. Now, of course, the other situation is if you pour it in your glass, put an ice cube in it perhaps, and it goes cloudy in your glass, that might also be cause for concern. So one of the things we would do is actually chill the whiskey down in order to cause those oils to congeal, and then run the whiskey through a filtration which removes some of those oils. Now, this also has the effect of reducing a little bit of the mouthfeel that those oils give. So even though you're reducing some flavor, in some cases, you might actually want a chill filtered whiskey because it might have a little bit of a lighter, more easier drinking character. So there's multiple reasons that you might want chill filtration or that you might not. So two whiskeys that I picked to illustrate this example, both absolutely wonderful whiskeys, but just a little bit of a different philosophy in how they're produced. One is the Johnnie Walker Black Label, and the other is the Compass Box Glasgow Blend. So Johnnie Walker Black Label, absolutely wonderful whiskey made by Diageo that is chill filtered and colored, but again, colored very modestly and essentially for the right reasons to have that consistency batch to batch, because of course there would be multiple batches of Johnnie Walker Black Label produced throughout the year. And with that, they're able to achieve a consistent product between those different batches. Now, you will notice the color looks perhaps like a whiskey that has been matured in sherry casks, and there would certainly be some sherry cask matured whiskey in here. The sherry casks impart a lot of flavor, and in fact, the Glasgow blend appears to be the same color, and we know by looking at the back of the Glasgow blend that it has been matured in sherry casks too. So essentially, are more or less the same color, but they've arrived there in different ways. Now, the Glasgow blend is also non-chill filtered. So you'll notice right away when you taste them side by side that the Glasgow blend has a little bit more of that viscous, rich mouthfeel. And along with that, you get a little bit more of a spicier, kind of more full-bodied profile. Now, I think there's a place for both. Some of you might try the black label. Of course, both of these whiskeys have a little bit of a sherried character, a little bit of peat to them, a little bit of that smoke, but they drink very differently. So there's no right answer here. You just have to discover what you like for you. And if you like something that's a little bit more assertive, more packed with flavor, you'll probably enjoy the Glasgow blend. If you like something that's elegant, exceptionally balanced, and a little bit more classic perhaps, you might gravitate towards the Johnnie Walker Black Label. Both great whiskeys, different philosophies that really illustrate the purposes of non-chill filtration or non-colored. So most whiskeys by law will say that right on the label if they are. So you can see in this case, right below here it says natural color, non-chill filtered. And that's usually how you can discover, because if the whiskey has been chill filtered or colored, there's no law requiring you to say that on there. But the producers that don't usually want you to know that they haven't done anything to your final product. Enjoy.